Hello, it's Gina. Welcome to my channel. Today I have another quick, easy, fun tutorial for you for some paper crafting fun. Easy is the way I like to roll because it's paper crafting and it shouldn't be complicated. That's how I feel. It should just be fun. We're playing with paper, we're folding, we're gluing, and we're decorating, and we're inking, and that really should be all there is to it. And that's what I have for you today. We're going to make these cute little pockets, and there are two different styles. They're made very similarly, but there are some differences. This holds together with magnets. I have these tiny magnets. The first one we'll do is this style, and it's really simple. Here, I have some packaging. To show you what it would do, it's just a couple of little pockets, and you put it on your page, and the magnets hold them together. So you can slide something in, put a little tag, or a little piece of ephemera. On this side, you flip your page over, and you have another one right behind it. You can put a little tag in that one as well. So very simple. If you want to take it off, it's just the magnets. You just pick it up and you can move it to whatever page you like. I actually made two different versions of that style. This was the first one I made, and it turns out I like it much better, and I will show you why. It's the same thing. It has the magnets, clips to the page, but the big difference is I punched out both sides. So when you put it on your page, I find it more difficult. The tricky part is making sure you put your tag inside the pocket and not just end up slipping it behind, which I guess you could do, but it won't be secure. You know, you want to probably try to make sure you get it inside the pocket. With this one, having only punched one side, it gives you another side that you can push your tag against and ensure that you are indeed putting your tag inside the pocket. And I think that is a better idea, at least for me. But you do have two options. The second version is similar, but it is a little more elaborate, and it includes a paper clip. It uses the paper clip to hold it on, but it opens this way and has pockets. And you flip your page, it opens out, and of course has pockets. But the flaps are held together with magnets, like the first one. And you can just take this off. Here's another one. It slides on, and it just stays. And you open it up, and there are your pockets. Flip your page, open it up, and there are your pockets. Now I did do these differently. Both of these, as you saw, I grabbed my paper clip and pulled it out, and everything was fine. Before I started filming, I went through and took a look at everything, and I kept pulling the paper clip out. Instead of the whole piece coming, just the paper clip was pulling out. I don't know why it didn't do that when I first made them. It didn't do it just then, but it did happen. So I went in, and on this one, I glued down the paper clip and then covered it up with a little trimming from this paper. And that way it's glued down, so you don't have to worry about it coming off, and you can still put your little tag or your little ephemera in, and it goes right over top of the paper clip. So that way you know that it's glued in, and you can pull it and the whole thing will come off. This one I just left as it was. I couldn't find the rest of this paper, so I just left it. And as you saw, it did work. It holds on, and when I pulled it, the whole thing came off, as it should. So a couple of variations there. If you're finding that when you pull it off, you pull it and just the paper clip comes off, but this little piece is still hanging out on the book, then you can use this version where you cover up the paper clip and glue it down. I thought we would start out with the easy version first and then work our way up to the one that's just a little more involved. Let's get started. Here's what you'll need. A strip of paper. This one is 3.5 by 12, but you can use whatever size you have. Strong glue, a circle punch, small magnets, a corner punch, a bone folder, could be optional, and of course, your favorite color of ink, which is optional. So the first thing you're going to do is fold your piece of paper in half. Once you've folded it in half, I fold it back the other way and I add a little bit of ink. And this provides a visual that will help you in the next step. Next, you'll fold each side into the middle. We're going to end up gluing this. This is how we make our pocket. So you don't want to glue it all the way to the center. You want to do it just shy because it's going to have to fold in. So this is why I ink it, just so I can see where the center is and make sure that when I make my crease, it's not right on the center, but it's just maybe a centimeter off. And do the same thing to the other side. Okay. And hopefully they're about even. They'll be on different sides of your page, so it really doesn't matter if they don't match up. They'll be on different pages and you won't be able to tell the difference. This is where a bone folder comes in handy, but you can use your nail, side of your scissors. I mean, you know, you can use something else, but a bone folder is the perfect tool for this part. Okay, at this point, if you have paper or you're using paper that has a print that has an up and a down, you'll need to stop and pay attention and figure out which way is up. So for this, the flowers are going this way. That just, it wouldn't look right. It looks upside down. It is upside down. So I want to make sure my pocket is going from the top this way. As I explained earlier, I think it's best to only punch on one side. Now this part you have to pay attention to as well. Once it's glued, it's going to look like this. And when it goes into your journal, the outside is the part that you're going to see, and that's where you want to be able to place your tag. So you don't punch this side, because this will be your inside. You're going to want to punch this side. You with me? Okay, so, and when you open it all the way up, you're going to be punching the two inside pieces. It is easier to punch before you glue it down. So I'm going to add a little punch on each of these two sections. You may also want to go ahead and ink before you glue it down. So we'll take just a moment and do that. You flip it back over so that the inside part's showing. I'm using the art glitter glue simply because it has this fantastic point and it's permanent and it adheres really well. You're going to glue on the outside and the bottom. Okay. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. Now make sure your glue, if any oozed out, make sure it's dry before you close it. You don't want it to glue together. It's basically put together. You've got your pocket here, and you flip it over, and you have your pocket here. Now, all we need to do is add the magnets. That's what holds it on to your page in your journal. Okay, so we will take two tiny little magnets. Okay, that looks like two. You can just leave them, two little magnets already stuck together. On the inside, where you can't see the pockets, we're just going to add them, what's that, maybe 1/4 of an inch in, right about there. Add a little circle of glue. There we go. I'll take my magnet, remember they're still stuck together, and I will place it on top of the glue. and push it down. I'll hold it for, I don't know, maybe 10 or 15 seconds, just so it gets that initial grab. Now you can leave it, but I don't like my projects to show a lot of oozing glue. I just got these not very long ago, but it's like a paintbrush handle, but it's got like a little silicone tip on it. And what I do is I just hold it still, and I just use this to gently go around and take the excess glue off. Wipe it on a little paper towel. That way it looks nice and neat, at least on one side. And I say that because I can't really do it to the other side. I guess I could, but the easiest way to make these doesn't allow you to do this step. And I'll explain now. Okay, so remember, we've glued it down, but it has both magnets still stuck to it. With both of them stuck together, I just put glue on the top of the second magnet. Put a nice blob of glue, and it covers the whole circumference of my little magnet. I'm just going to take this side and fold it over. And it's going to glue to this page and line up the way it should. I'll take something heavy and I'll lay it on top. And then I'll just leave it. You don't want to open it too soon because you want to make sure that the glue sticks well to the paper before you try it, because these magnets are really pretty strong. So if I tried to open it now, I would probably pull the paper away from the one I just glued. So I'm going to go and set this to the side and put my heavy circle punch on top to give it some weight to press down to help make sure it adheres well. We'll go ahead and get started making our second one, and this piece is 4 3/4 by 12. You can change and use whatever size you want to. But I did make it longer because I'm going to fold it so that there's a pocket on this side. Before I make a fold, I need to know which side is up. So I want my paper to go this way. On the outside, it's going to be upside down on the inside, but I'm okay with that. I would rather it be right side up. So I'm just going to flip it over like this. The first thing I'm going to do is fold it over and make the pocket. Let's see. You can make it whatever size you want to, but let's see, I think that should be good. Okay, that looks about right to me. Make sure it lines up on the edge. Now this paper I'm using is not super heavy. It's not a really thick paper because the folding part would be a lot more difficult, and it's likely to crack and break if the paper is too thick. So you want to find more of a medium weight paper. This isn't the thinnest, but it is most certainly not the thickest either. And it can be hard to fold a very long piece of paper and have it fold correctly. I don't know why. So if you have a scoring machine, a little something that you can score it with, maybe that's the better way to go. You score it, which actually I think that is what I did. I scored it and then it was much easier to fold. So that is probably the best way. I totally forgot. Okay. So hopefully this is going to be close. Okay, now that's an even match. Okay. So it's just shy of 1 3/4. Once you've folded that, I'm going to open it back up. And I'm going to do the exact same folds as we did the first time. So I'm going to fold it in half. Fold it backwards, and I'm going to ink the center. This one I'm going to fold pretty much right up to the center. This one folds out. It folds in a different direction, so I don't have to worry about it being too close to the center. When you fold up the bottom to make your pockets, to try to fold this over, it's really bulky in the fold. You can leave it like this and it would be okay. But if you want to get rid of some of that bulk right here in the crease, you're going to want to cut just a little bit on each side of your fold. And to make it easier, I'm going to fold it back and I'm going to ink it. It's just easier for me to see where the fold is if I use this method and add ink. Maybe your eyes are better than mine and you might not have to do this step. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut just on either side of where I have inked. So like that. You don't want to cut all the way up, but just where it folds over, just down to this crease. Okay? And once you do that, you can flip it over and then trim it off. There. So now when it folds a lot easier. And I'm going to do that for both the middle and the other side. So now I cut them all, I'm just going to try them out and make sure everything folds right. And it folds really well. Now, if you want to, you could ink this fold down here if it would help you know where to stop. That is probably a really good idea. For whatever reason, I could see that one okay, but I don't know, it was harder for me to see these. But you ink whatever helps you be able to see and know where to cut. Now at this stage, this is where my little corner punch came in because I just like the look. I like the look of the rounded edges. You can leave it with a hard corner. You can absolutely do that, but I am going to go ahead and punch my corners, and I'm going to punch the top of the edge of the paper. If you want to add ink to the top of your pocket, now's the best time to do that. I've made my little cuts. I've inked all my pockets. Now I'm going to glue them down. And to glue them down, you'll just glue on each side. Okay, so now I have little pockets. Now that my pockets are made, I just need to add the magnets that will hold them closed. So I'll need 4 magnets, 2 for this side that'll hold this closed, and then 2 for this side to hold it closed. I need 4 magnets, but I can leave 2 magnets together. So I'll grab 2, I'll grab 2 more. So each little stack has 2 magnets. So I'll do it about 1/4 inch to the inside. Take my little 2 magnets, stick them down. I'm going to hold it down. I like gluing both magnets together like this because if I just did one magnet and then I just did one magnet over here, I would have to keep in mind and be concerned about making sure they match up exactly so that they hold together well. Doing it this way, when I add glue to the top and just fold it over where it would naturally fold, I'm guaranteed that once it's dry and I open it, it's going to close perfectly and the magnets will match up exactly. And these magnets are so strong that I can't do this side right away because this hasn't set yet. I made that mistake earlier I thought, okay, I can kind of rub it around a little bit gently and it's not moving. I'll go ahead and do my other one, add my glue and set something on top and do them at the same time, and that did not work out. Fold it over and hold it down just for a moment. Okay, once it grabs enough to where I can lift my finger and the page is still staying down, I think I'm going to sit something on top of it so that it doesn't move while I add this second one next to it. I'm telling you, these little magnets, they're small, but they are really strong. Okay, here's my little circle of glue. 2 magnets. And set it right, uh-oh. Uh-oh. You see how it jumped right out of my hand and now it's stuck to the side because that other magnet is close enough to pull it. So let me see if I can maybe use my scissors to pull it away because it's magnetic as well. Okay. I'm gonna try one more time. I think I'll stick my bone folder in between real quick. Okay, even through my bone folder, it moved. Okay, but this is a better position. Oops. I'm just gonna stay right here and hold it for a second. I just don't think this is working. What I'll do is I'll adhere these 2 over here. Okay, that's far enough away to where it didn't attract it to the other magnets that I've already glued down. So let me hold this here and let it get that initial grab. But okay. I'm going to try adding the glue on top and folding it over. Okay. I've got my nice big bead of glue. I have my bone folder down and I'm going to fold it over. So I'm going to hold it there briefly while the glue grabs. Now I'm going to see if I can pick it up, and I'm going to fold it back on itself like this. I'm going to take this and sit it behind me, or maybe just to the side, and I'll go get our other one and check on it. Took off my circle punch, and by the way, this is a 1.5 inch circle punch in case you're wondering, and there we go. The magnets stayed on each side. It closes, and it closes and it adheres really well. You have your pocket, and you have your pocket. So this one's all done. All you have to do now is if you want to decorate it and add a little bit of flourish to it, but essentially it is made. Since the paper is so pretty, I don't want to cover too much up, so I'm going to do something really simple. Put a little cheesecloth and a word or phrase. I'm going to do something fairly similar on each. I really love the white flower, so my little word or phrase is going to be underneath and have it more toward the bottom. I'm just going to grab my glue stick and just rub it around and add my little piece of cheesecloth right on top. Now I found this one. It says "You Fill My Heart," and I'm trying to debate if I want to ink on the edge of my little phrase because it may make it pop out more. Maybe I will just a little. It's so hard to resist. When in question, ink. This tip is so easy to use. And put it down like that. Simple but pretty. I am going to go ahead and ink the crease. And I'll go ahead and ink this side as well. That side's done, and I'll probably just do something similar on the back. It has this nice open area in the center, so that's where I'll put my phrase. And there you go. I'm going to call this one finished. Let's check on our other one. So this will be the inside, the part that goes around the page. And remember, it opens out. There's one on each side. That's perfect, just the way it's supposed to be. see this one. And there we go. So perfect. So I've got my little magnets all glued on in place. Now the way this one holds together is with a paper clip, remember? I have all these paper clips with the coating on them that are different colors, and I've never used them, so I've been trying to use them for this project. So I'll pick a pretty pink. Now you know me, I always think it's helpful if there's a little something to pull from. Have you a little bit of fabric, and that way it gives you something to grab. So let's add on a little something. Okay. Pull it out a little bit. Something and poke it in, get through. Like so. And then I'm just going to add some glue and glue it together. We'll push it back down. We probably don't need quite that much, so I'll trim some off. The glue is still wet, so I can kind of pinch it together and it stays. Might want to take a little bit more off, but we'll leave it for now. Okay, this one goes on just like this. Alright, and you open it, got your little pockets here, flip it over, this side opens and you have little pockets here and here. Cool! Let's see if I can pull it off. Oh, and it pulls off without gluing the paper clip in. So I may just leave it, I may not glue it, but I will show you how I did it. You just trim off a little bit of the paper you have and flip it over so that it matches the side. So for this one, I have this little piece. My stripes are going this way. Make sure it covers the entire length of the paper clip, plus a little on the end because you want it to have enough room to stick down to completely cover it. And put glue down and then just lay this on top and glue it down like this. Because this paper is not very thick, you can kind of see the paper clip. But to me, it's very minor. Chances are you're going to have something in here anyway that'll be covering it up. And to me, it's not bad. It doesn't bother me, but it may bother you. And maybe you can think of a better way to cover that up. But this is just what I did. So it is an option if that's something that you want to do. For now, I'm just going to leave it as is. Keep my decorations really simple, just as I did on the other one. I'm going to use cheesecloth as my first layer. And for my words, I've got this sticker sheet from Simply Vintage Cottage Fields. It's one I got with a kit many moons ago. And I'll probably use these pink ones, The Sweetest and Love You More. All right, there we go. So we have The Sweetest, and that opens up. I guess you could probably put stickers in here as well. I'm not going to for the video, but you guys know you can do all the embellishing you want. And the back is Love You More, and it opens like this. So cool. I'm taking my paper clip out because I noticed something. I originally just rounded the one corner, but when I close it, I can still see the sharp edge of the one under it. And I believe I can fix that. I'm going to open this up and open this side up. And there is my inside corner. So I'm going to see if that will punch. Oh, good. So when I close it, that way everything is rounded. And everything is rounded. Let's take a look at what we've done today. Here is our first one. This one really was easy peasy. It didn't have very many steps in it. It opens like this. It attaches to your page, and you have a pocket here, and you flip the page over and you have a pocket here. Cute and easy. This one had several more steps, It was a little more elaborate, but still very doable for the beginner. Just follow the tutorial. I have no doubt you can do it. There was just a few more steps, that's all. And this one has the paper clip. It slides in like that to your page, and it opens from the inside out, and you've got pockets. You flip it over. Uh-oh. My little magnet came off this side. Ruh-roh. The last one I did, just let it sit, and I went on to do something else. I rushed it a little bit in trying to make my video, but that's fine. You just give it a little while and let it sit and really adhere, and you'll be good as new. Here are the ones we made. Here are the others for inspiration. And that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's a fun, easy little project. Especially the first one I showed you. You can pop those out really quickly and make several of them. And you don't have to use the same size paper. If you have a long rectangular scrap, that'd be a perfect way to use that up. But I do hope you enjoyed that tutorial, and that's gonna be it for this one. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.